I have never seen such a cool wilderness survival. Wendy next door was still hungry for 9 days. The two have already caught dozens of kilograms of wild boar, stewed pork elbow with wild grapes, and inverted charcoal grilled tenderloin marinated with marinades. In addition to that, and delicious braised crab with back fins, the charcoal roasting drama without a coke and inner tenderness. It's a wilderness survival show. They turned it into a paid vacation just because of them. One of them is a very successful New Zealand hunter. One is an ingenious ice cream chef. This time they're in Chiapas, Mexico. Here is the last remaining cloud ridge in the world. It's not just lush, it's alive. There are also small animals of various colors distributed. Hunter and cook only carry the most basic survival tools to survive here for 7 days. Sitting show crew. 9 free shipping nuclear-powered pickup. The two soon arrived at the challenge location. And as we all know, the most important thing in surviving in the wilderness is to find water. There is no moral map and no compass. They can only rely on experienced hunters to lead the way. However, the humidity in the air here is as high as 70%. Just take a few steps and you will sweat profusely. Although hunters are not long, traces of wild boar activity were found on the ground, but they never found the water source. Trekked for more than 3 hours. They are already hungry and thirsty. Suddenly, the cook accidentally fell on his feet. It made him so angry that he almost didn't speak English. I don't know how long. Finally, the sound of running water came to my ears. Jumped down the ditch with the sound. A meandering stream flows quietly in the jungle. What's even more surprising is that there are also small crabs inside. It seems that the animal and plant resources here must be very abundant. So the two decided to set up camp nearby. This 100 square meters of land looks very good. The division of labor between the two is clear: male farming and female weaving. Hunters are responsible for building shelters for sleeping at night. The cook goes to the stream to catch freshwater crabs, fix dinner, and I turned over these rocks and pulled out crabs that were hiding inside. They're all different sizes. Some are fuller. Chef Incarnate gather a crazy harvest. After a while, I caught a pot full of. On the way back to camp. He also nailed a fennel tree by the way. This is a once-in-a-century seasoning in the wilderness. It's perfect for adding fun to crabs. Wait for the cook to return to camp. The hunter has framed the sanctuary. It's almost inseparable, due to the arduous trek of the previous few hours. Their stomachs were already growling with hunger. The cook put the hat into the crab. Leave it to the hunter for safekeeping. Handle other ingredients first. Unexpectedly, the hunter, the outrageous ghost, turned his hat over. Crabs are everywhere. The two were in a hurry to catch them back. The results are dazzling. The cook accidentally cut the hunter's palm. You know, in the hot, humid cloud forest, wounds can easily become infected. The chef was also very guilty when he saw this scene. Random plan to make a delicious meal to make up for it. Pour the crab into a hot iron pan. Mash with a wooden stick and add water. Put in the cut anise chips. 10 minutes later, a delicious crab soup is freshly baked. One bite is refreshing. It's so delicious it explodes. I didn't expect such simple ingredients. After passing through the cook's hands, it can be so delicious. I have to say that the chef is really professional. Come the next morning, after a whole night of metabolism, they have to figure out how to get food again, and the hunter went out with his bow and arrow. Soon a beast well was discovered in the jungle. There are still many traces left by wild boars along the way, but he didn't wait for him to find the wild. The pig sees a few pine foundations perched in the tree. The hunter is too beautiful without saying a word. I don't know if it's because of the hand injury. Shot several times in a row. I didn't even get a whip. They had no choice but to return to the camp empty-handed. Then the two briefly discussed the plan. The hunter was going to teach the cook how to hunt with a slingshot, so they can split up. Greatly increase the success rate of hunting. After the words and deeds of the hunter, in a few minutes the cook learned the essence. Don't say more, don't talk less. Hurry up and find a prey to do it. In an instant, a bird was spotted moving in the tree. Then he pulled a full slingshot and shot it out. Incredibly, it actually got him. It's a pity. The prey fell in a dense bamboo forest. Bamboo went in and searched for a long time, but couldn't find it. Wait for this fresh stream to move in. He lost all interest in hunting. Turned around and went into the woods in search of wild ingredients. Sure enough, professional people do professional things. Soon he made a discovery. This is a Mesoamerican brown donkey. That's what we call wild corn. It's loaded with carbs. Suitable as a staple food. Further into the jungle, he found another beautiful waterfall. There are a few taro plants growing on the shore. The locals call it cabot. It's an edible vegetable. And not only that, there are wild grapes growing next to it. Taste the taste. All packed up and taken back to camp. At the same time, the hunters on the other side also made no discoveries. Saw traces of wild boar grinding teeth on the trunk, so he's going to set a trap nearby, using curved branches to provide elasticity. The end of the rope connected to the hemp rope agent. As long as prey steps on it, it will be hung up. Wait until you return to camp. The cook has cooked it delicious. The unsuspecting hunter would shake it with a spoon and eat it. Also praised the taste. Nice. Until a burning sensation came from the chef's mouth. They just realized that the taro business is good. Hunters never expected. This time it was poisoned again. Looks like I'll have to go hungry tonight. Wait until the third day. The two were already hungry and had no strength to relieve hunger. Hunters have made tea from wild grapes. It tastes sour and sweet, sour and sweet. After a little extra strength, the hunter went to check the trap set yesterday. And there wasn't a hair in it. But fortunately, on the way back to camp, he bumped into a hunting stream, see each other lying motionless on the tree, then walked up to the front, picked up the knife and sent it to the west. When I returned to the camp, I didn't forget to tease the cook, seeing the chef's mouth full of fried ha-ha. Then he was satisfied to hand over the prey to him. High-end ingredients. It often requires only the simplest cooking methods. After the chef peeled the lizard, charcoal roast directly on the fire. This stuff tastes like chicken. However, the protein content is dozens of times that of beef. Two people who haven't eaten meat for a few days. After a while, there were no bones left. Come to the fourth day of the challenge. Traps to catch wild boars still come to nothing. The hunter estimates that the wild boar may not have left here, so he returned to the camp and discussed with the cook. Decided to create a more advanced trap. Went nearby and chopped some bamboo as raw material. Bind and fix with rattan rot. Weave a rectangular cage. Mash crabs and grapes in as bait. As long as there is pepper, he can't help but be tempted to eat in. The only consequence is to be locked up. In the blink of an eye, the sixth day has arrived. The two were already hungry with their front chests attached to their backs. The hunter's injured hand couldn't stop shaking. All hope lies in the trap. Fortunately, this time the jungle did not be stingy with them. There is a wild boar. The trigger is trapped inside. Saw the hunter and the cook approaching. He kept grinding his teeth in an attempt to scare the enemy away, and in order to put it on the road as humanely as possible, the hunter had the cook block the door. He took out his dagger hand. The red knife enters the white knife. The knife fell to end the life of the wild boar. It's time for the chef's show. He sorted the meat carefully. Different parts. The cooking method and heat are different. Cut the front leg meat into large pieces. Fry in the pan until golden brown on both sides. Add wild grapes and simmer. It can make the meat more delicate. After the pork ribs are pickled with pickled seeds, put it in a tripod and smoke it. The tenderest tenderloin is a whole other story. After applying the seasoning, tied to branches and grilled on fire, the dripping juice looks very tempting. 3 hours after killing the wild boar, they can finally sit down and taste the food. Stewed pork elbow with wild grapes, a charcoal roasted marinated fillet, with fresh corn and vegetables. Exquisite plates made by the chef's skillful hands. Bright colors make your mouth water just by looking at them. The hunter couldn't wait to pick up the piece and put it in his mouth. Crispy and tender taste. Fat but not greasy. The direction in which the grapes penetrate the pork meat. Multiple flavors collide in the mouth. It's delicious to explode, not to mention the protein content. Thousands of times more than beef, although the process is a bit arduous. But you can enjoy a last-minute meal. In the eyes of both, it was all worth it. The next morning, the two packed their bags. Successfully completed this challenge. Everyone else has to tighten their belts in the jungle. The combination of these two anti-goods can be eaten very well. Wild Gongao dragon that explodes its eggs and is waiting to give birth. Priceless deep-sea grouper. And a strip of sludge to help the brown donkey eat together. Soup stewed in red curry. The one who caught the hunter is called a five-mystery three-way. Palotes Island off the coast of Malaysia. It's a remote tropical island off the equator. Perennial uninhabited environment sultry. A nuclear-powered speedboat coming in white stripes. Hunter and cook. This pair of abyssal seeds is going to challenge him. In the next 7 days. Not only do they have to survive, still have to find ingredients for a royal feast. Just got ashore. The cook throws his boots aside smartly. And the jungling begins. And as we all know, the first thing to survive on a desert island is to find water. The table led the hunter and the cook into the woods. But even if there are hunters ahead to clear the way for it, the chef's bloated body is ultimately difficult to carry. A big hole was cut in the clothes. Fortunately, soon, the two found a large watering can. The hunter immediately hit a pot and tasted it. As a result, if you vomit within 2.5 seconds, you can't win. It turned out to be cool, salty water. Hunter speculation. This crab lake is 80% formed by the high tide of the sea. If they want to drink fresh water, the two can only look elsewhere. Continue deep into the island. They found a dry riverbed. Follow him and you might find some remnants of water. Due to the high temperature and the continuous long journey, Chibabao soon begins to lose physical strength and will suffer from heat stroke. I feel dizzy while my mouth is dry. The hunter, who feels sorry for his teammates, is strong. Hastily cut off a head of water. The juice inside. The liquid can temporarily relieve the chef's dehydration urgency. Continued to trek another 2 miles. In front of. Suddenly a small puddle of clear water appeared. Needless to say, it must be fresh water. I am afraid that drinking it directly will cause diarrhea. The two returned to the beach and started a fire, after boiling it thoroughly. This is how to drink it with confidence and boldness, seeing that the sun is about to go down the mountain to rest. Before, the hunter also wanted to fish a few by the sea. Fish up. The bait is the ubiquitous hermit crab. I thought the resources here should be abundant. As a result, I was busy for most of the day. I didn't catch a single hare. No way. The first night was still honestly starving. Wait until the next morning. After waking up, the two planned to go out in search of protein. Hunters packed diving gear to go fishing. The chef went to the inside of the island to find ingredients. However, the vegetation here seems to be dense, but there are very few edible plants. Walked for a long time and he didn't find anything edible. At the same time, the dive hunters got nothing. The visibility in the water here is limited. Makes it difficult for him to see the rest of his surroundings. After working for a long time, let's go ashore. The other side. The cook who returned to the camp found something good on the shore. Picked up a few coconuts that were washed ashore by the sea. Shake the juice inside a little. I really don't want to go back to camp. Saw the hunter lying on the beach, sunbathing. I know this guy must have caught nothing. I don't want to go hungry like this. They can only come to the beach to pick up hermit crabs. Although this thing is called the dung beetle on the beach. But presumably under the processing of Chef Kui Shiyuan. It must be delicious. Soon they had collected half a basket full. It's time for the chef's show. First put the coconut milk and coconut meat in and bring to a boil. And then you pour the hermit crabs in. delicious in less than 10 minutes. It's in good condition. Turns out the hunter just ate one. The smell of his grandmother's legs went straight to the sky. The cook saw that his reaction was so exaggerated. Pick one up and put it in your mouth. As a result, the next second I put on a pain mask, unlike other species of crabs. Hermit crabs almost live on carrion. Its soft belly is filled with bitter-tasting large intestines. To prevent channeling, they decided to go on starving. In the blink of an eye, the third day has arrived. Look at the island they are on. Hardly any resources. So the hunter had a bold idea. That is to try your luck on the island on the other side. The water over there looks bluer. There's got to be a big coral reef underwater. And where there are coral reefs, there are plenty of fish. The cook, under his rhetoric, also believed. But if they want to reach the other side, you have to build a black dust. Picked up some free bamboo nearby. And all kinds of marine debris. Tie them together with hemp rope. The two of them worked under the sun for 3 or 4 hours. Finally built a wilderness black dust. It's almost dusk. I will eat some coconuts to satisfy my hunger today. On the 4th day, bring only 4 liters of fresh water. The two of them opened their bows left and right and drew the bamboo valve. Unexpectedly, buoyancy and power are pretty good. Wow. The two sat on the bamboo valve talking and laughing, but on the way, I kept encountering the sea breeze in the opposite direction, resulting in a short range of 3 kilometers. The two of them skated almost all day, too late to rest after landing on the island. Hunters search non-stop for materials to make fishing guns. Cut off a straight branch. Tie the rubber band of the slingshot to it first. Fix the arrow to the stick too. So, you get a powerful fishing gun. The blessing of a weapon in hand. The hunter couldn't wait to go to sea. Aim for the fish on the bottom of the sea and start hunting, with one blow after another. Soon a dumb grouper got the trick. Before the hunter could be happy, he found another dragon under the reef. Come out of the water first, change your breath, and dive again. The hunter soon rescued him. Meanwhile, search the shore. The cook also found something good. This lump of green plant is called sea grape. It tastes like pop candy. If you bite it in your mouth, it will explode. Is a rare delicacy. Pack some and take them back to camp. Soon the hunter also returned with a full load of prey. The chef laughed out loud when he saw this scene. What's even more surprising is, the dragon is also covered in lobster. Now I can finally have a good meal. In order to preserve all the umami of the ingredients, going to have a pot of seafood hodgepodge alone. After cleaning the ingredients, first spread Shanghai grapes in the pot as a base, then put the wild grouper. Enter one by one with gong alon. You don't need to add any seasonings too much in an instant. The umami of seafood hits your face. Smooth and juicy fish tastes delicious. The soft and tender shrimp meat also melts in your mouth. The hunter ate so much that he licked his fingers. For fear of wasting a little bit of oil and water, one last bite of sea grapes. Instantly make the rectification feast unforgettable. In the blink of an eye, the 5th day has arrived. The fresh water carried has been drunk. They had to take the bamboo valve back the same way, passing the coral reef. The hunter wants to catch a few fish for lunch at the bottom of the sea, so he roped the bamboo valve. Then they dive into the water to catch fish. Soon, half an hour passed. The cook couldn't wait for the hunter to probe. The original rope used to hold the bamboo valve. I don't know when it was released. This makes the cook anxious. The hysterical yelling of the hunter's name, just when he thought the hunter was next door. In the distance, a blackhead suddenly emerged from the water. Wait for the hunter to approach again. Down. The chef, with a few glances, scolded him seriously. Knowing that the cook cares so much about himself, hunters are also spoiled. After another half hour of sailing, the two were also in danger. Back to Pilates scrambled on shore. Take a break. The cook went to the old place to collect fresh water again. On the way back, I saw a mud-brown donkey. And at the top, it's incredibly delicious. After cutting it down with a knife, remove the white part in the middle. The taste is crisp in one bite. It tastes sweet. Bring it back to the camp and let the hunters taste it too. But that's not enough to put them between their teeth. So wait until night falls. The two of them carried sacks to the beach to catch the sea. See if you can catch a few fish for supper. Soon, the hunter found a crimson. Don't talk nonsense to him. He went down a brick and took him to see his wife. Then put the sack in the crimson and go back to camp. The cook immediately began to show his skills. Remove the red poisonous spikes. Pour coconut milk into a pot. Served with nibang brown donkey and curry leaves. After a while, the feast was out of the oven. Hunters can't wait to take a bite. Delicious. The soup is rich, not to mention the protein content. Thousands of times more than beef. What the two eat is endless. At this point, this challenge has come to a successful conclusion. This is the most comfortable wilderness survival I have ever seen, when others are still worried about food. These two not only eating a mouth-watering roast whole lamb, also cooked sour fish soup with full color and flavor. There are too many priceless morels to eat. Good wilderness survival. They turned it into a paid vacation. Just because. One of them is a very successful New Zealand hunter. One is an ingenious ice cream chef. Recent. They came to the Rhodope Mountains in Bulgaria. Here lies the last primeval forest in Europe. It goes without saying how dangerous it is. However, animal and plant resources are also quite abundant. Ride a nuclear-powered helicopter that costs 9 yuan and 9 free shipping. The two men reached the edge of a steep cliff. Only carry the most basic survival tools. They have to survive here for 7 days, and often dead friends know that. Finding water is absolutely a top priority for survival. After a brief observation of the terrain, the two decided to go to the bottom of the valley to develop. There is a big river more than 10 meters wide. Presumably there must be a lot of animal and plant resources. There is no immoral map and no compass. The roads are led by experienced hunters. Halfway through, I also found an old man who is suitable for being a fire dragon. The beard goes all the way down. The terrain is getting steeper and steeper. The inexperienced cook stumbled along the way. I almost hit people to the bottom several times. After 2.5 hours of trek, before they reach their destination, God played a huge joke on them. And it was clouded. Lightning and thunder. No way. They had to build their shelter first. Unexpectedly, just then, wolves howled from the valley. Never seen this before. The cook of the world trembled with fear. The hunters on the sidelines were not impressed. After a while, it began to rain lightly. Worried that the new cook will not adapt, the hunter let him drill into the waterproof subordinate a lot. I continue to build shelters in the rain. Wait until the rain clears. The cook went to the stream and fetched a pot full of mountain spring water. The hunter also started a fire at the camp. Then, the cook added a little lynx to the pot and raised the leaves. Overheated tea. Take a sip of cool hot tea. The fatigue on the hunter's body suddenly disappeared. When even ready to go out looking for dinner today. Hunters with decades of hunting experience. I saw the hair of a wild deer on the ground at a glance. Blind guess they are in the nearby wild area. I never imagined that the sky suddenly began to flash and thunder. The heavy rain also made the animals hide. Bad weather makes today unsuitable for hunting. In desperation, the hunter had to return to the camp first. Wait until the rain stops tomorrow before acting. Soon the time came for the next day. The hunters started cutting towards the top of the mountain early in the morning. I want to see if I can meet someone who is short-sighted. The hanging sheep and the cook who got up on the other side was not idle, although he is not good at hunting, but an expert in finding game. The cook carefully observes every plant around him. He quickly found the ingredients he wanted. This is morels. It is one of the most expensive ingredients in the world. As I walked, I found a large area of vinegar pulp grass. Don't look at these things. But in a restaurant, it will definitely make some people break their heads. Sour, sweet and grassy in one bite. The vitamin C content is dozens of times that of beef. At the same time, hunters also found a herd of rock antelopes at the top of the mountain. Now his bow and arrow are ready to move, but the distance is too far and the range is not enough. You can only sneak around and operate nearby. In order not to alarm the snake, he also took off his obstructing shoes and clothes, then creep up from the other side of the mountain. Find the opportune moment. Hunter bow building. An arrow hit the goat with an even stroke. Next to the stone, apparently the hunter missed his prey. I had to return to the camp in despair. After a while, the cook also came back. The cook happily turned to the hunter, show off precious ingredients, while politely asking the hunter about the hunting progress. Facing the chef's inquiry, the hunter said he didn't sleep well yesterday, so no prey was hunted. Listen to his serious sophistry. Bamboo didn't complain too much either, but morels alone are definitely not enough. Therefore, they were going to try their luck at the nearby stream. See if you can catch a taranfish or two. But before that, the cook hasn't been in the water yet, let alone fish. However, it is unexpected. After a random instruction from the hunter, he really caught one. And then the hunter stares in shock. Caught 5 or 6 in one go. Good guy. Is this the legendary novice spree? Return to camp. Burn oil in a pan. Put the stew pot into the fish, with expensive morels and vinegar ginger grass. Put in some more mountain hair curly leaves. Simmer for 30 minutes. A colorful and fragrant sour fish soup is fresh. It's out of the pot. This color is appetizing just by looking at it. One bite down, show weight is really capped. Nutrition, not to mention. At least dozens of times that of beef, but to live a real royal life, they also need bigger prey. So on the third day, hunters go out to hunt before dawn. Learned the lesson of the last failure. He came to the grass roots where antelopes frequent. Soon found fresh footprints. Immediately decided to wait for the rabbit again. But wait until the afternoon. The surrounding grass has been gnawed away. No sign of the antelope was found. And to make matters worse, there was lightning in the sky. It seems that there is no chance to hunt today. At the same time, the cook at the camp was starving. So I put on my raincoat and went out to find food. Not long, he found a nest of male quail eggs under the tree. The kind-hearted cook left one for the mother bird. Back to camp, with expensive morels. Cooked a dish of eggs and fried mushrooms. Take a bite of my darling after it's cooked. It's delicious. Just stabbed to explode. And the other side, the hunter with numb feet finally found out. Saw a walking kitten a kilometer away. Before the other party finds himself, the hunter was going to circle back and deliver the fatal blow. I don't know. Is the fragrance of your little feet too strong? I haven't waited for him to get close, and the deer just ran away. Unwilling, he continued to search for traces of his prey, but God is against him. Wait not long. The sky suddenly became foggy, so that the hunter can't find the trace of the prey at all. By this time, he had already walked 7 or 8 kilometers out of the camp. Needless to say, I will definitely not be able to go back today. I can only spend one night in the wild. In the blink of an eye, the 5th day has arrived. The hunter, who just woke up, is still sleepy. Just then, hunter's eye, surprised to find a deer not far away. Stare at yourself. Hurry up to the hall and draw the bow. Shot an arrow into the bushes, and the deer falls to the ground. Walked in and found it hit the spine of the fawn. The hunter stuffed a handful of grass into the deer's mouth. It means that there is no shortage of food in the future. The sky has gradually dimmed, so he decided to go back tomorrow morning. Hang the tree on the venison. Prevent Shong Do Shonga from stealing food. I went into the woods to rest for the night. Working hard all day. Of course, treat yourself to dinner. Hunters hang raw deer cores from branches. put it on the fire, eating deer sashimi raw, while happily roasting deer fishy slices. Early the next morning, the hunter carried the venison on his back and went straight to the camp. See the prey behind the hunter. Bamboo suddenly smiled. And in the face of such high-end ingredients, Bamboo naturally dare not neglect. This time he's going to make a charcoal roasted whole deer. They quickly erected the brackets. And then you hang the whole deer on the grill. Then put the time found in the picture on the charcoal fire. Bake slowly. Roasting venison is a long process. During this period, the cook made another pot of deer whip soup with morels. He wants to make up for the hunter. 5 hours later, the aroma of venison permeates the camp. Bamboo cuts the best hind leg meat for hunters. Then the two responded with a humming. One bite of my mother's meat, tight quality but not firewood, moderately salty. The taste and texture are really nothing. Not to mention the protein content, thousands of times bigger than beef. They eat delicious roasted whole wood, drinking delicious roadside soup. 7 days of hard work have finally returned. In this way, the two successfully completed this challenge. Survival in the wilderness. It still depends on Chef Shenong and the abyssal hunter. Wherever you go, can make a delicious protein meal. This issue has achieved the free placement of seafood. Delicate pond lid grilled prawns, the fragrant bamboo tube stuffy grid in addition to that. There are also native big catfish, attractive crab yellow cake, good wilderness survival. It was turned into a food show by the East Huo. Kalimantan is the largest island in Asia. This is a mangrove swamp with a lot of species. New Zealand's top hunter with his personal kitchen treasure. Here's a 7-day survival challenge. Take the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier with 9 yuan and 9 free shipping for the setting group. The two were taken to a narrow river channel. The captain has the boat ready. The rest of the way requires them to row and dock themselves. At first, they were laughing and talking because of the novelty, but seeing ships, when water leaks at a rate visible to the naked eye, I couldn't laugh anymore. Bite the water out. Hurry up and find a place to dock. The weather in the rainforest is hot and humid. The cook was sweating profusely after a while. Soon the hunter saw dark clouds in the sky. In the eyes of the giant, a heavy rain is coming. Therefore, call the cook to hurry up and build the shelter. And it was made out of the brown elm trees that were all around us. Essence can be used as a framework. Leaves can be used as roofs. As time goes by, the temperature has soared into the 30s. The hunter took the iron pot to the river and fetched a pot of water. In this environment, they have to consume 3 liters of fresh water a day to maintain the body's needs. However, there are many bacteria in the river water. It's definitely not okay to drink it directly. So the hunter crushed up some brown fish liquid and used it as a fire dragon. Rub hard with a beautiful stick. A raging fire rises. Put the wok on the fire and bring it to a boil. After the water is cold, the kitchen is preparing to return to the game. As a result, it was spit out as soon as it was put in the mouth. This water is so salty that it can kill it. It should be caused by seawater pouring into the river. They want fresh water. Just wait for the sea to ebb. During this time, the two of them split up. Bamboo to chop some bamboo to use as a container for water. Hunters go out in small boats in search of food. He found several snails on the shore. It can be used as bait. Return to camp after setting up all 3 fishing lines. The sea has also receded. The hunter fetched another pot of water. Bring to a boil on the fire. No doubt this time it's fresh water, after the 2 were full of water. The rest are stored in the net bamboo bucket. The first day, there was no protein. So far, so good. Wait until the next morning. The hunter who woke up wanted to go out. Go check yesterday's fishing line, only to find that the boat filled the river overnight. I think the kill water is too slow. I just want to turn the side of the boat and pour out the river. Accidentally, the iron pot at the bow of the boat went into the river. Wait for him to unhurriedly dump the water from the boat. The iron pan has been picked out for a few hundred meters. waiting for him to row out to retrieve it. The pot is long gone. The unsuspecting cook is still searching for ingredients in the jungle. Soon he found a large expanse of sorghum pulp. Can't wait to dig one out and put it in your mouth. Take a sip and find that the taste is very strong. It's not the same taste as artificially grown ones. I just wanted to take it back and cook a pot of hot tea nuts. Guo received the news that the hunter had lost the iron pan. Hearing this bad news, the chef was red on the spot. Even if the hunter manages to catch a catfish, it's not enough to quell the chef's anger. You know, that pot was handed down from his wife's grandfather. If you lose it in normal times, it's a big deal to buy another one. But now it's in the middle of nowhere. No iron pan. They'll never eat goose stew for the rest of their lives. Fortunately, hunters have a way to deal with it. They can learn how the locals cook with bamboo tubes. Just plan the window at the bamboo joint. Stuff in the cleaned catfish. Add mashed sorghum pulp. Heat it on the fire for 15 minutes. A colorful and fragrant bamboo catfish. It's freshly baked. The hunter scraped half the fish for himself. The rest is attached to the bone for the cook. Delicious fish penetrates the spiciness of wild ginger. Tastes delicious. But with the energy of just one fish. Not enough for 2 adults. Fortunately, hunters are on the islands of New Zealand, with years of hunting experience, good at tracking prey. Soon an animal was found in the jungle. Through the dirt that history left on the brown donkey leaf, then on the tree trunk not far away. Found scratching marks. He thought it might have been a wild boar rubbing against it, to prove my conjecture. And he was able to do it. Isn't this the fat for the mouth? So the hunter planned to build a trap. The material is bamboo that can be found everywhere. After cutting it to the right length, make a groove on it. Strung together with sticks, you get a bamboo wall. At the same time, the cook on the other side is not idle either. Seeing the hunter so confident in the trap, he plans to do a test drive. To deal with wild boars that may be caught, don't look at the chef. He usually only cooks on fire, but the skills of doing it by hand really don't have to say. All kinds of details are taken care of. Less than half an hour. A wear-resistant and exercise-resistant test drive is done. Soon the hunter's trap was completed. Subsequently, the two carried him to the animal path next to the camp. Using snails as bait, as long as a wild boar gets in and eats it, the switch will be triggered, trapped by the falling gate until the next morning. The two of them couldn't wait to check the trap. The good news is that the trap has been triggered. The bad news is there's not even a single hair in it. The hunter decided that these guys were too cunning. Just stick your head in to trigger the trigger. So I didn't catch anything, it seems. Their desire to eat pork is about to be dashed. But life goes on. Bamboo indicates that there are a lot of roach shrimp in the river. They can find a way to catch some, so that to hit it off. Ready to make a shrimp cage out of bamboo. The entrance is funneled. The other end is firmly sealed. As for the bait, use the leftover fish heads from a few days ago. As long as there are roach shrimp smelling and crawling in, it's hard to get out through that funnel. And then you throw the shrimp dragon down the river. The rest is up to time. Until the morning of the 4th day, the hunter, full of anticipation, salvaged the shrimp dragon. I saw a nest of roach shrimp lying in the dark inside. Look at this head, it's not small. Now they can finally eat a big meal. The two cooperate in the division of labor, male farming and female weaving. Hunters live in camps. The cook goes out in search of ingredients. Soon he found a sorghum pulp and a few unripe noodles. Take a sip and it's almost sour. Fortunately, vitamin C, the content is dozens of times that of beef. Wait until you get back to camp. The cook cleans the shrimp first, then put the shrimp head and shrimp tail. The ingredients are put into the bamboo tube in turn. Finally, cook it over the fire. Break the bamboo slices. The red shrimp meat in the white looks very tempting. The hunter couldn't wait to pick up a piece and put it in his mouth. It tastes tender and smooth. Delicate and delicious shrimp meat, perfect with sorghum sauce. The spicy combination with the sour taste of the noodles. The same pellets collide in the mouth. Just stabbed to explode. In the afternoon, the hunter went to check the fishing line again. Unsurprisingly, another catfish. Whistling and singing back to camp. This time he's going to cook it himself. Let the cook have a taste of his craft. Spit on the lid first. Then put it on your clothes and wipe it. Sprinkle with salt. Finally, throw the whole catfish on it. The rest is up to Providence. At the same time, the cook on the other side walks to the shore, thinking of checking the shrimp traps. Unexpectedly found. The boat that was supposed to be tethered to the shore is gone. Needless to say, it must be a good thing done by the hunter. Now the pot is lost and the boat is lost. The chef reacted. The greatest danger in this game. Neither unpredictable weather. Not a reasonable crocodile either. It's this partner in front of you. Wait until the hunter comes with the catfish. The chef, after tasting, did not make any comments. Ask the other party if they have any last words to explain, until the cook told the lost ship. Hunters can only hide their embarrassment with laughter. In the blink of an eye, it's day 6. The traps to catch wild boars are still unproductive, so they carried him back to the camp, intent to transform into bamboo valve waste in utilization. But before that, they also have to eat a big meal to replenish their strength, so the hunter took the cook to the shoal. He thinks there may be a barrier hidden in the mud beneath his feet. The two of them dug tentatively. I didn't expect to get it. And it's big. After some effort. After a while, I harvested a big horse. After returning to camp, then the shrimp cage is salvaged. The noodles not only caught a lot of roach shrimp, and a blue crab, the grill that the chef worked so hard to build, finally came in handy, after cleaning the ingredients. The cook arranged the roach shrimp neatly on the lid of the pot. Bake on the fire. Then cut the isolation. Take out the meat inside. Pour your brain into a bamboo tube and simmer. As for the crab, the cook is to cut it into 8 pieces. Fry on a plate. At the same time, the hunters on the other side are not idle either. He took apart the bamboo valve, reassembled into a bamboo valve. Although it doesn't look strong. But as long as it doesn't sink. After an hour, a delicious seafood feast. It's freshly baked. The hunter smelled it and came back. The chef happily invited him to dinner. Crab roe is delicious. The firm and plump shrimp tail is even more delicious to the extreme. For a while, let the hunter praise the cook's craftsmanship. Not to mention the protein content. Thousands of times more than beef. Eat and drink until the 7th day. The two finished packing. Pull up the handmade cooking method. Successfully completed this challenge. I don't know if the survival show went wrong, or did the food show break the leg. Charcoal grilled raccoon with burnt outside and tender inside. Overheated shredded nuts. There's even a fat stewed turkey. Not to mention the fluffy juicy wild crucian carp. Those who didn't know thought they were here for a picnic. Because one of them is New Zealand's top hunter. One is a 5-star chef of ice cream. The two team up to survive in the wilderness. The goal is to conquer all the wilderness delicacies. Current period. They came to the Bronze Canyon in northern Mexico. Not only is there a wealth of ingredients here, there are tons of wild mobile proteins. Riding in the crew's Tiger Vision pickup. The two soon arrived at the challenge location. And as we all know, surviving in the wild, finding water is absolutely a top priority. There is no immoral map and no compass. Only a little more hair than day. They wanted fresh water. You can only rely on experienced hunters to lead the way. And advance under the scorching sun. Heat is the most dangerous enemy. The human body consumes a liter of water every hour. I expected to find fresh water soon, but I walked till the afternoon. The two discovered the river in the valley. It looks at least 10 kilometers away. It is obviously impossible to pass today. They had no choice but to find water on the mountain for emergency. Just then, the cook in the eye has made a new discovery. I saw a small puddle with clear water not far away. Not much to say. The two immediately rushed to the crime scene. But I didn't find out until later. There is a lot of protein squirming in the stagnant water, but right now they have no choice. The cook filled half a pot with water in an iron pan. I can only pray that it will be delicious when boiled. A mouthful of hot, cool white will open your stomach. The two instantly became lively. Solve the urgent water problem. The next step is to find tonight's campsite. Given the temperature at night here, it drops hundreds of degrees. The two specially chose a boulder. Not only can it block the wind, it can also reflect some of the heat from the fire. It's still some time before dark, so the hunter is going to catch some game to fill his stomach. Soon he found fresh antler prints. Follow the footprints all the way, but accidentally found a squirrel. I happened to have a slingshot on me. Then teach him a lesson. I didn't expect to blink. The squirrel disappeared without a trace. At the same time, the cook on the other side also found a plant, wild agave. This plant is rich in carbohydrates, so the cook called the hunter over, cut down a giant agave plant and took it. It's time for the chef's show. Cut the white part into pieces first, then put it in a pot and add water to cook. Take a sip, but find the taste a little bitter. The cook said it was the worst food he had ever eaten. The hunters on the side saw this, also attempts to help swallow by drinking water. As a result, within 2.5 seconds, you can't win if you vomit. I didn't expect the first meal of the challenge to collapse like this. Hunter, I can't help but doubt the craftsmanship of Chef Kui Shiyuan. The hunter who wakes up the next day only feels a headache and nausea. It's got to be food poisoning. It seems impossible to go to the bottom of the valley today. Homemade chef? I found a handful of pine needles out of nowhere. Chop and boil in a pot. Boil the pot of hot tea. Hopefully this will relieve the hunter's symptoms. A cup of warm pine needle tea. A smile finally appeared on the hunter's face. Wait until the physical state slows down a little. He went out hunting again with a bow and arrow on his back. After all, the cook will starve to death sooner or later. However, the slap in the face is, he went around the woods several times. No trace of prey was found. I finally found a squirrel and let the other party run away. Opposite kitchen, Z found many effects in the woods. After collecting a full pot, he was content to return to the camp. Bamboo peels off the shell of the nut. Put it in a pot with sugar and stir fry. After a while, the wire pulling effect will be ready. The hunter next to him has been waiting for a long time. Can't wait to pick up a piece and put it in your mouth. It tastes sweet and sour. It tastes amazing. Soon came the third day. Kitchen after waking up. The child mashed the nuts left over from yesterday. Add boiling water and sugar and cook together. Brewing a wild black coffee. 2 people each drink half to wash away the morning sleep liquid. Then he packed his bags and headed down the mountain. Along the way, they also discovered a lot of animal activity. This gives them a lot of confidence. Eat a royal feast. As the surrounding vegetation becomes denser, they finally reached the valley. Hunters washing their hands on the shore, seeing the water seems to have respect. Then you have to catch 2 to try the early adopters. If you don't have bait, find a scorpion instead. When everything is ready, the hunter came to the river and started fishing. But after a few shots, and he realized that the rod wasn't working very well, so he threw the fishing rod away, fishing only with fishing line. The cook who witnessed this scene, I always feel that hunters are not very reliable, so I slipped to the side alone and found wild ingredients. Pretty soon, he found a wild jalapeno. This made the cook very happy. You know, this is a famous local seasoning. Cut off a piece and take a bite. Found the taste fishy and spicy. It's a perfect match for fish. And the hunter on the other side. It's like hearing the cook's call. I caught 3 fat wild crucian carp in a row. Watching the hunter return with a full load. Bamboo for a while. I almost married this capable man in front of me. High-end ingredients. It often requires only the simplest cooking methods. After the cook cleans the fish, skewer it up and grill it on the fire. The kung fu of waiting. He also made one with chili and acorn powder. Chutney. Wait until the grilled fish is out of the oven and drizzle it on top to collect the juice. A delicious hot and sour fish is ready. The hunter picks up a piece and puts it in his mouth. Tastes salty, light. Neither salty nor light. The protein content is dozens of times that of beef. Eat and drink enough to come to the 4th day of the challenge. As the saying goes, the early worm gets the bird. Hunters go out hunting early in the morning. He found traces of wild boar activity in the bushes, and they made traps out of rope. Put the rope on the only way home for Paige. The next morning, the hunter couldn't wait to check the trap. I didn't expect there to be a harvest in it. In the trap lies a wild, crispy noodle. Now there's finally meat to eat. On the way back to camp, the hunter didn't forget to get stuck. Chef's favorite jalapeno. Good guy, now the cook can't worship himself to death. Watch the prey brought back by the hunter. The hopeless cook was taken aback. Then the two went to the river to process the ingredients. After skinning the raccoon bacteria for kilogram, put it in a pot and simmer on low heat. But to taste good, chili star anise is definitely not less. After doing all this, the cook plans to treat himself well. He jumped into the river and began to enjoy the coolness, but forget that the temperature of the firewood is the hardest to control. Wait until the hunter returns from a trip. There's only charcoal left in the pot. The chef had no idea. I saw the hunter lying there with a look on his face. You only know when you open the lid. It turned out that the whole pot of raccoon meat was charred. Now it's really hard to jump into the yellow river. Fortunately, the hunter didn't blame him. Pick up a leg and eat. Its carbon content is dozens of times that of beef. Seeing that the chef has been hesitant, so the hunter put the bow and arrow on his back again. Go hunting. Just went out not long ago. I found a lonely turkey. Hurry up and shoot the big eagle with a bow and a cloud-piercing arrow. I sent the other party a box lunch. Look at this fat turkey. The cook is going to cook with charcoal. Calling chicken. Prove your strength. First command the hunter to dig a deep hole in the ground. Put in charcoal and stones. Then put the cleaned lighter in. Seal with fresh agave leaves. Finally buried in the sand, you can wait quietly for the delicious food to come out. Come the next morning, after a night of charcoal baking. The two of them couldn't wait to unveil the results. The hunter slowly dug. The moment the sand lifts the tequila. And the smell came. The heat is also just right. The chicken leg can be torn off with a light pull. The cook cut the turkey into strips, neatly arranged on the board. You seem to have an appetite. It also tastes soft, waxy and sweet, tender and juicy. Sweet crispy turkey. The two of them couldn't stop eating it all. Not to mention the protein content. Thousands of times more than beef. They were eating turkey. Summarize the harvest of these 7 days. This challenge is over. The hunter and the cook are on a roll. I caught a 2.5 caddies of barracuda in the ice and snow, a grilled fish meal with mountainberry sauce. In addition to that, and steaming fried fish with pine branches, and colorful and fragrant bark porridge. I don't know, I think. They're here to camp in the snow. Kuusamo in northern Finland is located on the edge of the Arctic Circle. This coastal snowfield not only contains mountain gates, top ingredients such as moon chrysanthemum. There are too many barracuda in the lake to eat. In this issue, the hunter and the cook will challenge it and make a royal feast. 2-person ride setup group. Rent a snowmobile for 9 yuan 9. Soon came to the challenge location. As soon as they got out of the car, they were shivering with cold. Therefore, their top priority is to find a suitable camping spot. Ground hunters saw what appeared to be several lakes there. Setting up camp by the lake is the best option. And then they had a problem. The snow was so thick it was hard to walk. Not only slow, but also very strenuous. Soon the puffy cook couldn't take it anymore. The hunter can't go on like this. So he went nearby and cut some branches, planned to make 2 pairs of sled shoes. Tie the head and tail in groups of 4. 2 hing chang are tied in the middle. 3 down 5 divided by 2 will make 2. A pair of sled shoes on the feet. The effect is immediate. Not for a while. I arrived at the clearing I saw at the top of the mountain. The hunter's experience taught him. Below this clearing should be a lake. However, when the cook breaks through the ice, the water that came out was black and smelly. There was an unknown smell in the air. Obviously, this is a swamp. There will be no fish in the swamp. They had to start looking again. Fortunately, in Finland, there are hundreds of thousands of lakes, large and small. It wasn't that hard for them to find one. After walking through the jungle for half an hour, there's another empty ceiling ahead. The cook is still there, saw the unfrozen water. It can be concluded that this time we found a lake. And they started working together. The cook dug out the snow from the bottom of the tree and piled it aside, pitch out to the windshield. Hunters cut down a lot of branches, spread on the ground as a thermal insulation, build a shelter before the sun goes down. Take into account, the temperature here at night will drop to more than -30 degrees, so we're going to have to start the fire. Hunters came nearby to collect some dried moss. When a fire dragon fires by tapping, it generates sparks. Then transfer to the fire dragon. A light blow can raise a raging flame. And after a day of traveling, the 2 are already hungry and thirsty. Eating blood directly lowers the body's core body temperature. They have to be boiled into water before drinking. Is the wisest. A mouthful of hot cool white will open your stomach. The fatigue on the body suddenly disappeared. Now, the 4 elements of survival are only food left unsolved. So the next day, the 2 of them went out looking for food. The hunter plans to go fishing in the middle of the lake, but before that, he needs to find some bait. Saw a pine tree with freshly sawn membrane on the surface. It is speculated that there may be a deworming hidden in it. After spreading it out, sure enough, a hibernating insect repellent was pulled out by him. It's the perfect bait. Then the hunter brought down another sapling. Tie the dagger to the top and act as a chisel. Then cut a big hole in the lake. You can start fishing. And the cook on the other side. Take a spade and walk to the north shore of the lake. He knows that there are many top ingredients in this area. Sure enough, after a while he found juniper nuts under the tree. This stuff has a unique fragrance. You can smoke fish, only later. He wants to continue searching for mountain plums and the moon under the chicken blood. When chrysanthemum, I searched for most of the day, but couldn't find even a hare. It is estimated that other animals must have taken the lead. Worried that the hunters would not bring back food, the chef came up with the idea of European red pine again. The bark of this thing is rich in fiber and minerals. It was an important source of food in times of famine, and pretty soon he had a whole shovel full of them. The hunters on the other side are really expected, sitting on the ice for most of the day. I didn't catch a single hare. I had to return to the camp in despair. The cook at this time is processing the ingredients. He crushed the bark. Then add water and boil for 15 minutes to cook into porridge. The hunter looked at this pot of dark cooking. After hesitating for a long time, I gained the courage to take a small bite. As a result, within 2.5 seconds, you can't win if you vomit. It means that even if I starve to death outside later, I won't take another bite of this stuff. The next day the hunter went to check the fishing line, although the bait was eaten. But there's nothing on it. The chefs still found nothing here. Go on like this? Let alone a royal feast. It's hard to even say if you can complete the challenge or not, until the 4th day of survival. After getting up, the hunter first boiled the pot loose for reconnaissance. Rebuild your tired body. Then go to the lake again and try fishing. Learn it a lesson from the failure of the previous day. This time he passed it by shaking a little bit from time to time. Create the movement of prey falling into the water. After a while, sure enough, something bit the hook. Pull it up and take a look. It's a half double weight base. But luckily, sea bass come in schools. If there is one, there will be more. Use the same technique. Just a few minutes. The hunter will take the 7 ants of the perch. The 8th ant catches it all. Before returning to camp, he put the smallest one back on the hook. I hope to catch a bigger fish with a small and big. After the bamboo cleans the perch, stuff pine branches into the belly of the fish to improve the flavor. Use a shovel as a frying pan. Heat a few fish on a fire. The aroma of not much fish filled the entire camp. The meat tastes tender and melts in your mouth, with a faint scent of pine branches. I just ate it all in 2 bites. Unfinished hunter decided to take the bow and arrow out hunting again. This time his goal is clear. The only one who doesn't hibernate this season is Helch. He walks along the lake, search for a stream in the north. Soon found a nest in the river. His plan is break the embankment built by Helch, wait for the other party to notice a change in the water level. When it comes out for inspection, he can wait for the opportunity to hunt. At the same time, the chef on the other side also came forward. A lake that has never been explored. South Bank. Hoping to find some frozen rivers and lakes. This time he made a discovery soon. This fruit is called salakachit. It tastes sour and sweet, very appetizing. And not only that, there are mountain plums and moon chrysanthemums growing next to it. Keep searching. The cook found another deer core on a rock wall. This is an edible moss, rich in large amounts of carbohydrates. On the other hand, the hunter, squatting on the shore for most of the day, still didn't see the river appear. This made him suspicious. Did the river go out to visit? One happy and one sad. The cook is on his way back to camp. Found another wooden chair nest. Wooden chairs are rich in protein. It's edible as well. And it tastes a little bit like a lemon or something. Collect enough quantity. He returned to the camp and began to cook a feast. Put all the ingredients found into the pot. After a while of stir-frying, pick up a little and put it in your mouth to taste. It tasted surprisingly good. At this moment, the hunters on the other side have been waiting for 6 hours, but there was no movement at all on the water. It's too late to return to camp now. So he built a makeshift shelter. Prepare to spend the night outside. The next day, I dragged my tired body back to the camp. He ate some of the food left by the cook. He suddenly remembered the small perch that had been released earlier. Not much to say. Come to the lake quickly to see if there is any harvest. It feels heavy when you receive it. Wait until you pull it up and take a look. It's a 2.5 catty pike. The gills of the fish are very red, indicating that they are very fresh. Now they can finally have a good meal. Back at camp, the two of them worked together. The cook changed the fish to a flour knife for easy tasting. The mountain plum that will be found next. Moon chrysanthemum mashed to make pulp. Apply evenly to the fish. Finally, add some pine needles for embellishment. Hunters are cutting down carvings nearby. Eliminate the wooden board for grilling fish. Fix the body of the fish to the wooden board with diced wood. Charcoal roasting by the fire. With the passage of time, while the fish is being cooked, it will also penetrate the aroma of birch and jam. 20 minutes later, a fully colored and fragrant roast. The fish feast is freshly baked. The fish itself is already delicious. Dip a little raspberry jam into your mouth before eating. Rich meat aroma. Fragrant and firm. Make people happy and warm. Eat the hunter. Don't put the grease on your fingers. Not to mention the protein content. Thousands of times more than beef. In the blink of an eye, it's day 7. Today is the day to go home. The two packed their bags. Reluctantly ended this challenge.